Welcome back, my Alpha brethren, all my brothers and sisters, all the souls, all the listeners over here. Welcome back. This is Shanu, speaking right to you right now from Darjeeling. An awakening, the Alpha episode. The Alpha parents. How can I be an Alpha parent? Is there the Alpha within me so that I can parent my kids much better, in many much more better ways than the rest of the world? Do I have that alphaness in me? Do I have those traits to become a good parent? Do I recognize the soul who has taken birth in my family beyond the physical appearance of that child whom I call as mine? Can I be a detached being and really understand what that soul who's come as a child in my life has come here to do on this earth plane? Am I awakened to such a level of understanding? Am I really here in the present, in the now, to realize the truth of what that soul has come here to do? Or do I see that soul through the two physical eyes, and I want that soul to follow my footsteps the way I want that soul to be, the way I want that child to be? Am I somebody who is turning a blind eye to what that being is capable of doing? If you have seen in the present world scenario a lot of child prodigies, we see them with a lot of qualities. They're really here to do something great. How are those souls? Be the pianists, be the guitarists, be the dancers, be the scientists, be it the chess prodigies playing chess at the age of 3, beating the grandmasters, winning over the hearts of many people when dancing on that stage fearlessly. Where is that energy coming from? How are those souls able to find their path and know what exactly they are here to do? Coming from very simple backgrounds. So do I, the parent, a soul, have the strength to realize the greatness in that soul who has come in my family, be a boy or be it a girl? At the end of the day, do I see that soul through my own mind's eye? So, being an alpha parent, I need to realize one thing, that I need to vibrate with the power of pure love, the power of truth, with a clean and fearless heart. And when I do so, I help so many souls, not just my own children, but many souls to open up to me, because I present myself as a pure loving healer, non-judgmental, not wanting anything in return from them, not wanting any name and fame, not wanting any kind of short-term gains for the self. I'm wise enough to stand as an example for myself, for my family members, for the children whom I have brought about as a creation, as a creator in my present life. So do I have that pure love for everyone? Does that child see me as somebody who's seeking validation and seeking love, seeking importance? See me as somebody who's doing things for the sake of getting something in return? Or does that child really look at me as somebody on whom he or she, as a soul, can rely upon? Am I someone whom everybody can look up to? Or am I only divulging and getting caught up with my own desires, with my own wants to be fulfilled by everyone around me? So, am I that being with pure love and the truth and non-judgmental outlook where every being can open up to me and share their issues, share their problems? Or am I somebody who judges instantly without even listening to that particular soul's inner issues? Can I be somebody with whom my child can share everything? We hear that. Am I a good friend of my child? Even before being a good friend of my child, as a parent, am I my own good friend? How do I talk to myself? How do I live my own life? Am I living with examples which anybody and everybody can copy, starting right from my own family? Am I somebody who brings about peace and love and happiness in the family? Or am I someone who brings about chaos in the family? Am I someone who repels others? Or am I somebody who attracts others? As an alpha, I am the leader of my own life, and I am surrounded by only those souls who are powerful and like-minded souls like me. And I'm very, very choosy about what kind of people I'm surrounded by, because I understand the kind and the nature of people I'm surrounded by is exactly going to affect my family, my children. So do I choose well? Do I know what is right and what is the right choice to make? Am I surrounded by those beings who are complaining about society, complaining about the government, complaining about everybody around? Or am I surrounded by those who are creators, who are non-complainers, who are non-blamers, who have their own life which is going out or going around very well, who are alphas in their own self? Am I being surrounded by people who have alpha lifestyles, who have control over themselves and thus are able to guide and lead others, not by controlling them, but by guiding them and directing them in the right manner? An alpha doesn't control anybody. An alpha just guides and then gets detached from that guidance. As in the previous episode we saw, an alpha doesn't make anybody dependent. So the same principle applies when it comes to parenthood. An alpha makes his children independent. He first makes them independent thinkers, independent believers. He knows his own principles of life, of how to maintain, develop relationships, how much distance to keep in a relationship, how much to open up in a relationship. An alpha parent even understands that there are a variety of souls on this planet Earth. Every soul has got different traits, characters, different beliefs. And being an alpha, the alpha being understands, he cannot talk anything and everything in front of anybody and everybody. An alpha parent understands that the safety and protection of him and his family depends upon knowing or having the wisdom to choose what to say, what not to say in the world, to the people around him, be it in his job, be it in his business, be it in his family, be it amongst his relations. An alpha focuses on leaving a legacy of wisdom more than financial gains to his children. An alpha focuses on bringing about wisdom from anywhere and everywhere, provided the foundation of that wisdom is truth. Pure, unconditional wisdom. An alpha is always seeking for the truth, and the truth can only sustain itself provided it has got the foundation of cleanliness in the heart and mind and fearlessness. What I mean by this is, when an alpha is guiding his own children, alpha realizes that he can't guide his children out of fear. He can't do things for his children or her children on the basis of wanting something in return, be it a thank you or name, fame, or even any kind of monetary or any kind of other form of return for the investments which he or she is making when it comes to his children or her children. I'm talking to the soul here, a soul in each being, a soul that you are. So an alpha is fearless. An alpha takes his decisions and guides his family, his children, on the basis of truth, because he has a clear heart. Even when an alpha is teaching his child a good manner, to be humble, an alpha is teaching that humility to the child, because an alpha believes and thinks that the child doesn't need to be humble towards him as a parent, but needs to have that quality or have the divinity to be able to survive and to lead others in the future when that child goes out into the world and faces the world out there. So an alpha teaches through his thoughts, words and actions humility. An alpha doesn't teach violence. An alpha doesn't teach harsh words to be spoken out in the world, because he knows the fear will persistently be there when he's teaching those negative, impactful thoughts, words and actions to his child of violence, of harshness, which can put him or her as a child into danger. So alpha is wise. An alpha teaches humility. An alpha teaches qualities of gratitude. Let's say an alpha parent teaches his child to be thankful, not so that the child in the end, when the parents become old or when they need him or her, or the child to come back to or rely upon, the child is always thankful and always speaking out words of thankfulness to the parents. But because when the child goes out into the world, the child knows that gratitude brings more gratitude back. That thankfulness has to be there from the heart, from the truth, from not fearing that if he doesn't say thank you to others, things won't come back to him, but it's his natural nature to be grateful and thankful. An alpha teaches another alpha child to be thankful and be in gratitude, not to get anything in return. There's a very thin, fine line between wanting something in return and using gratitude all the time, showing gratitude to others, which means there's no cleanliness in the heart and mind. And so this kind of gratitude doesn't last long. Thankfulness is being taught to the child by an alpha parent, or any other good quality other than humility and gratitude and many more things are there, discipline or anything else. The child is being taught those things by the alpha parent, not just so that they can reap the benefits of teaching those things, which obviously are going to come back to them if the child uses them in his daily life. But an alpha parent is teaching those traits so that the child goes out into the world and stands as an example and helps many other people to see the light in darkness, helps many other souls to use humility as a principle, to use gratitude as a principle, to use discipline as a principle, to be successful in life. Not for financial gains only, not for name and fame or anything else at all. But an alpha teaches his children to be detached from any kind of gains, be it financial, be name, fame, be any kind of praise or validation from the world. A good parent sets an example, an alpha parent sets an example in this manner. An alpha parent also understands that because he is choosy about the kind of people whom he wants to be surrounded by, he might be misjudged or be seen as somebody who's proud and selfish. But an alpha parent understands that there'll be souls out there in the world who might judge him or her. An alpha parent knows it very well that there's softness and a kind-hearted being inside. And the exterior toughness of the principles which he or she follows as an alpha parent is just to filter down those souls who are not the same as him or her as an alpha, and to keep them away so that they maintain their own freedom of choice of the kind of people they want to be surrounded by, and also teach the child to also follow a path so that they also are making good friends, associating with good alpha beings around them. An alpha parent teaches his child to have the keen eye to discern between whom they want to be around with and whom they don't want to be around with. An alpha being and an alpha parent chooses his friends, her friends, very carefully. They understand that this is the safety net which they're creating for the children, and they're teaching them something which is going to last forever with them, a quality which cannot be compared or weighed along with, on a weighing scale, with any amount of financial wealth which they leave with the child. The financial wealth can come and go, but the wisdom shall remain. They also teach the children that the financial wealth can be stolen. It can go under the rubble. It can be snatched by the weather conditions and natural calamities and many more things, by theft, by anything which is not under their control. But an alpha parent teaches the child that only thing which can be in control, or which is in control, is their own attitude, their own values, their own virtues, their own strengths, which can never be stolen away from them, ever, till the end of their life. So an alpha parent teaches his child to focus on something which remains permanent with them throughout their life. So an alpha parent doesn't teach his child greed for finances, greed for name and fame, but an alpha parent teaches his child to be greedy for divine knowledge, to be greedy for wisdom, to have the eye to look for the best in others, to have the eye to look and discern the good in others, and to choose the right kind of beings around them. An alpha child is taught to follow the truth with a clean and clear heart and to be fearless. An alpha child becomes a good parent too, because he follows the principles of his parents, not to teach things to his own children out of fear, but to teach things to his children, thinking that he's doing that with a vision which is unlimited, beyond his own personal needs and wants, and the unlimited desire of the alpha being is to help the society out, to spread the light out through those souls who was born as children in his own family. He doesn't even call them as his own because he doesn't own them. He understands that those souls are the children of the Alpha, of the Supreme Being, the Supreme Master, the Supreme Godfather, the Supreme Soul of all beings on this earth. The one who's the Lord of the three worlds. So an Alpha of the Alpha is always following the path which is of the path of wisdom, guided by the Alpha of Alphas, the Supreme Being. And an Alpha of the Alphas is the one who's guiding each Alpha on this earth. And Alphas also teach the children to see everyone as equal and not to have any kind of ego issues when it comes to talking to other people or connecting to other people. An Alpha of the Alphas teaches his children to maintain a distance and to choose the people right. But an Alpha of the Alphas child is never taught to discriminate, is never taught to look down upon on the basis of any of the physical attributes of financial or race or caste or creed or religious backgrounds. An alpha parent is always teaching the right kind of method of connecting to people at different levels. Being of a wider intellect, an alpha parent teaches his child to have a broad intellect, a wider intellect, to treat everybody equal, but to maintain at the same time a distance of choosing whom to be with and whom not to be with. To create a parameter, a level of boundary, just like in an atom, you have the electrons and protons, and they are at different orbits in a similar manner. An alpha, who's the power source, also knows which soul is at what energy level. And automatically, an alpha's nature puts that other soul also into that boundary, into a level of that boundary. No soul can force his way through into the nucleus of an alpha's life. Just because the vibrations are not matching at all levels, at every time, every moment, doesn't force anybody to push through a relationship or push through a friendship in an alpha's life. To be around an alpha, one needs to be an alpha. One needs to have the same principles, same vibrations. To be following the truth, to have the cleanliness of heart and mind, and to be fearless, is what makes an alpha get attracted to another alpha and be in the surrounding. However, two alphas have their own boundaries. They uplift each other's lives. But at the same time, they don't breach anybody's boundaries and get in. Don't force their ways, don't force their thoughts, don't force any kind of control over the other person's life. That's how an alpha parent lives by, and teaches his or guides his children to be like. So do you have that alpha within you? Are you that being who has those qualities? Are you somebody who's there to help your children develop a holistic life, a life where you yourself are maintaining a mental fitness, a physical fitness? Are you making smart choices in your life which bring about holistic growth? Are you spiritually fit? Not just financially fit. Are you content with your finances? Are you a spiritual leader in your own capacity? Are you a nature lover? Are you an animal lover? Do you love every human being, regardless of their caste, creed, religion, color, ethnicity, anything? What are you teaching your children? What are you leaving your children back with? Universal love or discrimination? This is what decides how your life is going to be in the future. What you teach your children is going to come back to you. That's the law of karma. A clean and clear heart and mind brings back a clean and clear heart and mind towards you from your kids, from your children. Are we that alpha? If you understood all that I have shared over here with you, let me know your views. There are many more things which can be covered under this alpha parenthood. There are many more things which need to be focused upon under this alpha parenthood. There are many principles of an alpha which need to be focused upon, and we shall cover them in the next episodes as and how we go along. I'm also waiting for questions and remarks from your side. If you think anything needs to be added over here, if you feel anything has been missed out, or anything that needs to be covered in the next episode, please feel free to speak about it, talk about it, because your questions, your words, your reminders are most welcome, because they're going to touch somebody else's life. And if you like what you hear over here, only if you like, only be true over here, only if you like, then only subscribe to this channel and be a part of this channel. This is for the awakening, the alpha within. Be an alpha, be true to yourself, be true to others. Truth brings confidence, truth brings faith, hope, and we shall only speak the truth over here. Live in bliss with the foundation of truth in our lives. I'll see you again with pure love and peace in your life.